Hey guys, it is 9:08 on the 24th of July, 2019. Um, and I am here to talk about politics. Oh, so some of you are old enough to understand politics, but maybe just don't care about it. Some of you maybe are really deep into politics, um, and it maybe make you sad and angry and frustrated. And then some of you don't even know really what politics is. So at this point, that's probably Avery. Um, but it's 2019. Politics in general have always been kind of viewed as obviously a public servant, but um, a certain threat of dishonesty and um, people out for their own needs and power and money. And I guarantee you there are politicians out there who mean well and want to serve people, serve their states and serve their country, serve their nations, politicians. But it's a really dark period in politics right now. We we have a president who was elected maybe out of not a lot of good options at the time in 2016, and the face of politics has changed drastically since then. And I think this person has done Trump has done some good things for the economy, and some pushes have been um, positive, believe it or not. But the overwhelming intentions and just conduct, I think, has been negative. So we finally have a president who honestly probably spends more time on Twitter and social media than maybe doing politics, which is sad and scary. And this is an individual who represents this country, United States of America, to everybody. So everything that they say, everything they do is under a microscope from the world. And unfortunately, his conduct has not been what you would call classy, or positive or constructive in a lot of ways. Again, not all the time, but it has been a steep decline in what we have seen from presidents in the past, and that is causing a lot of issues right now. And you have he is a Republican. He ran as a Republican, but on the other side, you now have Democrats who you can see them also getting pulled down to this level of just back and forth in the social media and in the news and this and that, and harping on each other about different things. And and a lot of it he drives, a lot of it he generates with what he says and what he decides to throw out to the public about his views. And then you have all these responses, and in all that, I sit back and I wonder how much this country could move forward in so many areas that it needs to move forward in if we at least talk to each other in a constructive manner, um, and try to come to an agreement on what's best for the country and move forward and take care of as many people as we can, versus this snarky BS back and forth at each other. And it's just sad, and it goes back and forth. And you know, I, it's just well, it gets into media as well, and where you're getting your ideas from, and if you're allowing yourself to go back and forth between platforms and sources, or if it's just like, hey, I'm going to get fed whatever this place decides to show me, and just believe that. And that's on both sides, Fox News, CNN, whatever. But so you have this division in the country, right now, and it's a strong division, and people are losing friendships and they're losing family over their beliefs and the conduct that is basically generated from one individual. Now, you've always had through the history of America, Republicans, versus independents versus Democrats. Like, everybody believes in their party for the most part, and you have some very strong believers in their party and what their party stand for, and the animosity between the two. There's always been some level of that, but it is gone bonzo, lately in the last couple of years. It's insane, and it's sad and it's frustrating. And it's disappointing. I'm disappointed in our politicians right now and their conduct. I really am. The people of the United States deserve better. They deserve people who are going to work for them to better their districts and their towns and their, states and the nation, and move it forward and make this a better place for all of us to live. And I think a lot of them are spending way too much time not doing that and getting pulled into these things. So it's a dark period. It's really dark period in politics right now, and it's fracturing this country and pulling people apart because I think there's just way too many people who aren't sitting back and taking a breath and allowing themselves to focus on the important stuff and get perspective on things and not be led off the edge, by one source or another. So, yeah, but yeah, in a perfect world, I think we all would want our politicians to be true and honest and not be out for their own good, but for the greater good. The needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few or the one. Okay, is very true. But I think they've lost that. Some of them have lost that, and I think there's good ones out there, but I think some of them have lost that, and we need to fix that. So if you're going to be a public servant, serve the public, not yourself, and not your needs and your wants. And we've got to get back to that. It's an embarrassing. I'm embarrassed sometimes by what I see from my politicians and how they represent us to the world. We've got to fix that. And the cool thing is we live in a world, we live in a nation where through our votes we can fix that and we can change that and we can move hopefully forward, towards progress and getting things done and fixing things and taking care of people. We can do that through our votes, but we have to be smart and we have to understand, what we want this country to be and how we want it to move forward and how we're going to go about doing that. So that's what it gets down to brass tacks is, and you can believe that things are great right now and it's perfect and you love it and that's awesome and go vote that way. But if you don't like where we're headed as a country and the fracturing and the division on either side, if you don't like it, then we can change it. But you got to vote. You can't sit on the sidelines and say like, well, I really hope it goes my way because I don't like this person. It doesn't work like that. Like you have to raise your voice and you have to go in and make your vote and drop that in the ballot box, digital ballot box, and fix those things. You cannot. Hope is not a course of action. You can't hope that a bunch of other people will vote for you and the way that you want them to vote and it'll be okay. We've been down that road. It didn't work. So you have to take action. If you have the ability and capacity to take action, you have to go take action and make your voice heard in whatever way you want to do that. If not, no bitching because you didn't care enough to go vote one way or another, so you got what you got. What's Avery say? You get what you get and you don't pitch fit, right? If you don't vote, you have nothing to say. So, that's one of the great things that our country has that a lot of countries don't have is the ability to vote and make a change and do those things. So you've got to do it. There's no way around it. You got to do it or, enjoy what you get. Okay. Regardless of the way it goes. So that's it. That's my kind of little political rant is just clean it up and get to work. I think the nation for the most part is done with this, clean it up, get to work and get stuff done. Okay. Cause we're going south. Okay. All right. I love you guys.